Welcome to Reseller Recap, where we talk all things reselling across multiple platforms. Join us for real-life discussions on how we crush the elusive work-life balance. Grab a coffee and join us now. Welcome back to our podcast. We love a spicy intro. We love exciting people, and we have Kate here to talk all things e-commerce. And I love that you are obviously in this space. You're on social media, which there are so many intelligent, powerful women in e-commerce, but a lot of them are not online, like in online presence. Mm-hmm. So I love that you're sharing, and you have little kids.
Yeah, really.
And I remember at one of the last events, maybe it was last Miami event you were like nursing or pumping during sessions. And I was like, wow, that's my kind of lady right there. I love that.
It was. So Austin is now like a year and a half. He's almost 2. And then Ryan is 4. And so last year when I was down at Miami Sellers Conference, Austin was like 6 months old and Ryan was, 2 and a bit. But yeah, I was nursing Austin. I'm still nursing Austin actually. So nursing, pumping, I don't pump anymore, but yeah, the whole thing while working. I wanted to go down and do Miami Sellers Conference, but I was like, I don't know how I'm feasibly going to make this happen. So I recruited my husband and my mom and I negotiated to have them come on the trip, and they just helped me take care of the kids, and we got a bigger space to accommodate everyone. And so I was able to literally like run around and do what I needed to do, and then go up to my room, nurse the baby, help them get him down. And even at night, like after we were done for the day, I would go back to my room, and like my mom couldn't get the baby down, Scott couldn't get the baby down. So then I'm up until 2-3 in the morning trying to like settle the baby, and then baby settled, and then the 2-year-old's upset, so I'm settling him. And then I'm like, I got to be up at 6 to get back at this. So it's just, but wow. At the end of it, like after the weekend, I got so sick because your body's just completely run down. But it's such a fun weekend. Like it's so worth it. And it was really cool. It's always kind of been my dream to incorporate travel and family and work. Like I love working. So if I can have all of those things at once, that's what I want to do. So this was like the perfect combination. I don't know that my husband or my mom thought it was the perfect combination. Yeah. I really liked it. I was like, you guys have a pool, a hotel room, like whatever you need, just go make it work. So
yeah,
I love that.
The way that sounds like my worst nightmare. Like husband, kids, work, like the way I would never.
You gotta have your village too. Like if I was on my, even just with my husband, I would be doing it.
Yes. And
wow.
You know, when people in this space, they're looking around and like, I started with serious FOMO in selling on Amazon. And then you kind of break it down and you're like, man, I'm doing this while caring for a family. And I don't know if you've seen this TikTok where there's the husband and wife running together, and the wife has the kids running and she's slow. And then she hands the kids off to her husband and she starts taking off.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that idea of it's easier to run without kids. You know, it's easier to focus. So sometimes we're not going as hard and fast as we want to go because we have responsibilities.
100%. And I like when I see, and there's a lot of guys in the space, right? Like a lot of men and boys, whatever. And it just feels like they're like hustle, grind, get up at 5 o'clock, do this, do that, have your morning routine. And like, I'm like, that's not possible. Like it's laughable that we can do that as moms. And it's just, even with husbands, like my husband's a 50% parent. He like does all of the things that a parent can do and helps me in all the ways. Like we help each other, you know, but it's still so much work. And the moms, it's just, I find, especially with young kids, and I mean, Morgan, you have like 7 kids? Like you'll know. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
4. So like, yeah, you guys are stuff, but it's just like tending to their emotional needs too is a full-time job. Like I don't want them to be upset. If I don't have to take a meeting and I can be there for them and give them a cuddle and talk to them and like talk them down from whatever and comfort them, I want to do that. Like for me in my head, I'm like 0 to 7 are really formative years. That's my understanding. And so I want to be around the kids as much as I can. So it started out when I was in corporate. This is the big thing in Canada, we get a really long maternity leave. We can have 18 months off work, unemployment insurance. Yeah. So it's not like our full salary at all, but you can get, I think it's up to 30 or 50 grand or something over the year or 18 months. So I got a bunch of time off with my kids. And then when I went back to work, I went back at like 80%, like 75, 80%, So now I won't work more than 30 hours a week. So it's instead of this hustle grind culture that we see a lot in reselling and Amazon and internet money and e-commerce and all the things, I'm looking at more of like a soft entrepreneur, or like a cozy entrepreneur. And I'm like, I want to be able to, the other day I took my son to school and he was upset. And I'm like, okay, let's stop and get a coffee and a green smoothie and sit and just have a little chat. And he's only 4, but we sat and just had a little 20 minutes. And I was like, I'm not rushing off to work. I'm not stressed about my boss saying, where are you? We need that deadline. But like, I'm not having it when the kids are young. So it's amazing. You have to be hustle grind, whatever. It's just making some extra money, like making that first internet dollar to prove that you can. And then there's so much, it's like a world opens up from there.
So I actually came from corporate as well.
Nice.
And my youngest is 1.5. And one of my colleagues, she was a grandma, but she's in Canada, and her daughter was pregnant at the same time I was pregnant. And when she told me that you guys get 18 months, and then even the dads get that long as well. And I was just like,
yeah, you can.
What are we doing here? Yeah.
It feels criminal, honestly, that in a country like the US, you don't have a maternity leave, like a decent maternity leave like that. Like you need it.
And then she's like, yeah, and then they get like stipends for even having kids, and like you pay like really cheap daycare. And I'm like, what?
Now in Ontario, especially, well, all of Canada now is cheaper daycare. They're supposed to go to $10 a day. I think right now our lowest is 20 for our 4-year-old.
Yes.
20K. The home daycare for our little guy is 45K, but yeah.
That's insane. That's a big issue here. You know, people will be like, why am I getting a full-time job and my whole check is going to daycare? So then you're struggling. So, and I get a lot of questions about, can you sell on Amazon and Walmart, specifically Walmart from Canada? So I'm glad you're here, because I'm always like, yes, you can, but I don't have any information about that. So let's rewind real quick and tell us like how you got in this space. What motivated you to start selling on Amazon? Because your journey is not like a typical seller from what I see on social media. You know, you do a lot of things. So can you like map it out for us?
Sure, of course. So we were talking earlier about traveling. Jen's traveling right now. I love to travel. After I did my undergrad, I got an undergrad in sociology and environmental management. And then I went traveling for a couple of years with a couple of my girlfriends. We lived in like Asia and Australia and traveled and did the whole thing. I was like, let's do this now, so I don't have any regrets when I'm in my 30s at home with my kids being like, I wish I got to go party in Asia and do all the things, right? Moped around town in a bikini. So we did all of that. And then I came back and went back to school, did like a graduate program. I eventually got an MBA, and I worked for like Shell corporate. I worked in oil and gas, and then I worked for the government. I was an industrial abatement officer, regulating Shell actually in the town I'm in now. And then I went into consulting, and I did industrial air consulting. So I've been like environmental management consulting for like 10 years maybe. And so when I had my first baby in like 2021, I remember sitting up in the middle of the night and I was nursing him, and I was just on YouTube with my little headphones so nothing woke him up. And I found a video, and it was like Warner and Miles, so Fields of Profit and Flips for Miles. And they were talking about selling on the internet and doing these live streams. And I was like, what are they talking about? Like, you can sell on Amazon. So then and the self-limiting beliefs were the biggest hurdle for me by far. So it was like, well, I'm in Canada, I can't do that. Well, I'm a mom, I can't do that. And like, none of those things are true. Like, I can do it in Canada, I can do it as a mom, all of these pieces. So I just kind of learned as I was on mat leave and researched, and I felt so stupid trying to figure this out. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll go. We don't have TJ Maxx. So I was like, I guess I'll go to Winners and see if there's something at Winners that I can sell. Then you buy stuff and you're gated in all of it. And you're like, okay, well, that's $50 gone. And then I felt stupid talking to my husband being like, so I know I just spent like $100 on these like beauty care, whatever, but I can't sell them. And I don't know. And he's like, oh my gosh, like you're going to throw away all your savings from maternity leave. But so just working through it and working through the self-limiting beliefs and figuring it out as I went. And then putting myself on social media was probably the biggest thing. I know that Miles is a big advocate of that. He's like, you can't network with people if they don't know you exist. And so getting there and getting connected with like Miami Sellers Conference and those guys, getting connected with like Diana and Smart Scout and Sellers United, all of these pieces, and meeting people and going to conferences. And it just kind of expanded from there. And I got different offers to do different work. So right now I'm doing operations with Corey Ganem, which is awesome. He's a really, really cool business guy. He's got a lot going on. We've negotiated some like affiliate programs, like retainers recently, which has been really cool. And then I've done the conferences. I've done selling on Amazon, then selling on Walmart. Then I'm right on the border to the States. So my kind of like advantage, strategic advantage, is that I order things in the States. I order like a pallet of goods and I have them delivered to a PO box just across the border. And then I take my husband's F-150, I get in it and I drive across the border and I load up all of this stuff in the back of his car and put like a net thing over it to hold it all. And I import it across the border through commercial customs. So I have a regulatory background. It's different regulations, but still. So I fill out all the paperwork and I pay my duties, tariffs, taxes, the 25% that Canada has recently imposed, all of that, and bring it across to Canada. And then I list it and sell it FBA on Amazon or WFS for Walmart.
Wow.
Nice.
So
nice.
Crazy. And if you don't follow Kate yet, we'll post her links below, but she shares this, you know, like it's not always, I remember watching one and you went to get this stuff and I think it was like all damaged or wet or something. And I love that you're so open and sharing, like it's not all, you know, no matter what style of selling you have, there's always pretty big hurdles and issues.
Yes. And having the resiliency to just push through them, I feel like is you have to, because you're going to hit those hurdles for sure.
Emily is always yelling at me about my social media because I had no presence. Yes. And she's like, you need to get on Instagram. You need to get on Facebook. Do this now. And then like, she'll be like, you haven't posted.
Emily, bully them into being online and getting yourself out there. It's just so many opportunities come from existing online. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm I've never been like that, like Instagram, Snapchat person. So this is like painful for me.
Totally fair. It's also like it's nerve wracking. You don't know like what's going to work and what's not going to work.
Yes.
I recently joined. So Courtney Johnson does like a personal branding. She's big on LinkedIn and she talks about overcoming the cringe of posting and being like scared to be seen and all of these pieces that I'm like working through. So she does a Sunrise Content Club and it's every morning. We're Eastern time. It's 9 until 10 Eastern. And she does a prompt and then you work together in this like co-working space to just put content out there. And it's just consistently putting content out there.
That's
and
awesome.
I find that really helpful. So even if it flops, I'm like, I did it. And that you from getting reps and more data. So yeah,
awesome.
Emily, I encourage you to post and get it out there. And even if it's not great, like just post it. The opportunities that come are totally worth it.
Well, it's the same as like every little niche in business that we have is you can't expect every move to be successful. Yep. And I really think people assume that's how it's going to be on TikTok and social media. They put out like 5 pieces and they're like, wow, they all flunked. I'm terrible at this. And it's like, man, if we had that same approach in business, we wouldn't get anywhere. So, and I think like you do a lot. Mm-hmm. I tend to see myself as a problem solver. I tell people I'm an e-commerce seller, but I find, okay, here's the pain point. How can I solve this problem for myself or somebody else? Yeah. And I think as an entrepreneur, that's more what we're doing. We're solving problems all day. That's what we're good at. And I think our superpower is being moms and having little kids, because can we work with crayons? You know, we work with a lot of stupid adults and we have the patience. Like, I'm going to get a crayon, circle this, draw the line. I'm going to spell this out. Yeah. Sometimes that's what you have to do.
Yeah, the patience, the emotional intelligence, all of the pieces. And you're like, okay, we're all just coming with what we've got. And like, let me help you figure this out. Totally.
Yes. And you work with a lot of younger guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like in the Miami event, and even Corey's younger, right? Wait, he's 30.
He turned 30.
All right, Corey, you're not young anymore. But like, what are the differences you see in how like you're operating your business and then working like integrated with young guys and their business, especially like in the hustle culture? Is that hard for you? How do you approach that? How do you adapt to that?
So something I really love about working with these young guys who like, they just kind of don't give a shit is that they're just so bold. They're like, I'm just going to put out this piece of content that people could get offended and it doesn't really matter. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like you can't do that. What if your auntie sees? Like, what if somebody like the political blah, blah, blah. Like and that comes from like the corporate piece. And my husband is like, don't talk about how you quit your job. They'll never hire you back. I'm like, I don't want them to hire me back. Like, I don't care. I want to talk about how I quit and how they like pieces of how they screwed me over. I'm like, I'm going to be honest about it. Like, that's what actually happened. And that was my experience. And I'm going to share that because other people are going through that too. So I think that like I bring a unique piece with having that corporate background and all of that. And like the mom piece as well. And like we said about the hustling, like they hustle and grind and all of these things. And I'm like, it's more of a balance. I'm like, I have to be flexible. Like, I'm not going to be online at 8 a.m. if we have things we need to do. It's going to be more of a flow throughout the day. And they also, I think, especially with some of the conferences that I've worked on, it's just very hectic and not necessarily planned out. Like, here's all the pieces and everything. And I want all the pieces. I'm type A. I want it all laid out. I want to know that everybody has the information that they need well ahead of time so they can get organized and get where they need to be. And I'm like, I'm like the mom of the group. That's what they joke. They're like, I know you don't like, you're not the team mom, but can you be the team mom? And I'm like, yeah, I can be the team mom. So I'm like, I have snacks in my bag and I'm like, okay, guys, we're filming this podcast and we're going here, but like, you guys have to eat. So make sure that you like get some time to eat. Like, it really is. And I'm like, that's what it's like. But it works because they just get on stage and do their thing. And I'm like, okay, I've got it organized. I've got it set up. Like, I'm good. So I'm learning from them to be more bold and take more chances, which is great. And then hopefully they're learning to like get organized and eat good protein foods. Like, I don't know. But yeah, I don't mind it. And I like to go to the conferences and the meetups and things like that because I want to meet more women in the space. Like, I don't know if there are even more than I know about, and they just, like you said, Emily, aren't online. They don't have a social media presence. But like, I want to meet more women like you guys and connect and network and see what's going on because you can just relate so much more. You're like, hey, I just got barfed all over. Like, I have to go change and I'll come back in 7 minutes to like record, and you're like, yeah, we get it. It's fine.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely. And I think that's why I love my community because it's all women.
Yeah.
And I mean, we have a man pop up here and there, and that's fine. We love them, but
We love them.
And
they stay, which is great.
I love that.
Yeah, they say, I feel like it takes kind of a strong man to be in a female centered community. So if you can hang out with us, that you're in the club, dude.
Yep.
I love that. So
Yes.
I like how you see, like, you identified that these young guys don't feel the social pressures as much as we do. We feel like sometimes we have to perform. Also, my big thing, and actually why I started my Instagram account, was because I didn't want my family and friends to know I was selling. I thought I would look, it was a pride thing.
Yep.
I thought I would look like desperate.
Yeah.
So I created this and oh God, I don't know what that was. And I was like, hopefully they'll not find it.
Yeah.
And I can just like be this new person over here. So it's true that you kind of need that, like, you don't care attitude. Who sees it?
You just gotta care a little less. So I did the same thing. I had a secret Instagram account and I didn't even tell my husband. And then so when I told him, he was like, what are you talking about? You have a secret Instagram account? And I was like, I just like was nervous and I didn't want to post on my own social. I didn't want, he was very adamant. He's like, I don't want the kids on social media. And I was like, okay, I can get on board with that. So I created my own social media and then had it as a secret for so long, like for my friends and everything. And then people started finding it and they were like, hey, is this you? I was like, yeah, it is.
Oh, no.
But like, you never know, like if you're not in the reselling world or e-commerce world and you're looking kind of in from the outside, you're like, is this an MLM? Is this a scam? Is it, you know what I mean? You don't know. And so you feel like, okay, well, I don't want to be selling Tupperware on my Instagram and like asking my friends and family for money. Like it's so different, but you don't know until you get in there and do it. So I'm like, get a secret Instagram account. Like, Morgan, if you want to do a secret Instagram account, get it. A couple of people, post whatever you want. Like, no. And the other thing is like, that I have to remind myself all the time is that nobody cares what I post. Like, nobody is being like, oh, Kate's so cringe. I can't believe she posted this. And if they are, like, who cares? Who cares? I used to be like, I can't post because my ex-boyfriend from high school will see this and think that I'm so cringy and blah, blah, blah. And now I'm like, I don't care. He doesn't care. I know he doesn't care. I don't care. Just post it. Like the options that come are so much better than the cringe that might be happening that you don't even know about. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are all so self-absorbed in our own life
Yes, so is everybody else. So they're also like not worried.
Yeah.
Right.
Perfect.
How does your day-to-day look now? Like you're juggling a lot. How are you managing? Do you have help? Like how does that play out for you?
Yes. So I definitely have help. And this is something I was posting on my stories yesterday. There's a book called We Should All Be Millionaires. Rachel Rogers is her name. And she breaks it down to it just makes so much sense. You're like, why would you spend time doing X when you could have somebody else do it for less and you could go and have more impact? Like not only make more money, but have more impact, help more people, get more people to where they want to go in their goals. So I really struggled with that, especially with my husband, because I wanted to get a cleaning lady. We had a cleaning lady growing up. He never did. He's like, that is ridiculous. He's like, you are not too posh to be cleaning toilets. This is your home and you need to take pride and you need to do it. And I was like, I don't want to. Like, I don't want to at all. I was like, I will pay good money for somebody else to do this. And I, and like, it took so much to get over that like embarrassment and that like shame of being like, I don't want to clean the toilets. And he's like, you think you're better than somebody who, I'm like, no, it's not that. It's just like, I would rather focus over here and then pay somebody, provide them an income to do the thing that they want to do. They're growing their business, right? So I've had a couple of cleaning ladies and their moms and single moms, and the one I have now, I've had her for like 7 years or something, like forever. Wow. And she's fantastic. And I like pay her double at Christmas and give her tips when the kids have made an extra messy house and things. Like I feel like if I create more abundance in my life, then I can provide more abundance, especially to other women in their businesses and what they do, right? Yeah. So house cleaner is one of them. I hired an assistant. Corey literally made me hire an assistant. He's like, you have to. So I hired an assistant, Christine. She's fantastic. So she does like my emails, my scheduling. She helps me with different projects, Notion templates. She's a Notion whiz. So she puts together Notion templates for like my trips. She books holidays. She books my osteopath. She books my couples therapy with my husband. Like she does it all. So she's fantastic to have on the team. Super, super grateful for her. And then I recently, like in terms of, I guess not help, but like things that I invest in and pay money for, I hired a stylist. So I'm working more on my personal brand and growing that. And so I hired a stylist, which is like, seems just crazy, but I'm like, I think you have to do it before you think you're ready. That's with most things. So anyway, she is designing a couple of like a capsule wardrobe and a few outfits. We had a consult, all the things. And so she's putting that together. Yeah. So just like, yeah. And it took me a long time to get there to be like, I'm okay with this. And I'm okay with people knowing that I have help and have paid for these things. So that's kind of what I've got in terms of help. I also, more so on the Amazon business, have my niece and nephew. They live kind of around the corner. So I hire them to come and put stickers on all the items that I have that I sell. So I'll just bring in a pallet and then they'll come over for the afternoon. I'll have a box set up. I'm like, here's the stickers. Here's how many go in a box, like set it up like an assembly line. And they'll do it with like my little 4-year-old and help him make sure the stickers are on flat and package it up. So I pay them a little bit of money to help me do that as well, which I think is great. They want money for Minecraft or whatever. And I was like, oh, let's do it.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you have like a prep center or you're doing all that, because that is so much work. You do a lot.
Yeah. So I have with the pallets that I bring into Canada, which is kind of the main part of my business right now, I just do it for my garage. We have a big garage. My husband hates it, but it's in the garage. And so we package it there. And then I have UPS come and pick up the boxes from out front of my house. And then in the States, I've got a prep center that I use. And if I do like buying wholesale, or when I was doing OA, I would have it sent to the prep center in the States and they would prep it. So I sell on Amazon Canada and the US.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
It kind of sounds like your husband needs to chill too. Like, relax.
That's the couples counseling. Like, work this out. Let's compromise. Yeah. He's very much like, he's like old school, blue collar, 9 to 5. You work your job and like, that's it. So when he's like, why do you have calls at 8 o'clock at night? Like, that's not work. And I'm like, well, it is work. But then I still have to figure out in my mind, I'm like, is that work? Is that not? Yeah.
Right.
So, it's a whole journey. Yep.
You need to share this podcast with him and be like, Emily says you need to chill.
Hell yeah. That's what I like.
Kate is doing a lot and you need to get off her back about it. That's ridiculous.
Yes. He's working 12-hour night shifts and day shifts and like flip-flopping. Like,
okay, actually, never
mind. My husband's blue collar too. So yeah,
it's just different mindset.
So are you selling in the US and Canada for Walmart, or only in Canada for Walmart?
So I'm only selling in Canada for Walmart right now. I've got my US account set up, but I just, with the tariffs and the border and everything that's gone on recently, I just kind of woe back on that. So I kept doing the importing from the US to Canada and then just focused on the Canadian businesses. So
yeah,
less in the States for sure.
Yeah. Is Walmart as much of a crapshoot for Canada as it is for the US?
Yeah. Okay. 20 units of this or 80 units of that, and you just have no idea what's going to happen.
Love it.
That's interesting. Yeah, I get a lot of that question, like how does selling on Walmart from Canada look? And at the last of seller event, they were pushing sellers to like jump to Canada, Mexico, they were like offering, I don't know,
like glove service.
Yeah, like all of these steps. And I looked into it, and then I talked to my tax guy, and he's like, don't do that.
Really?
He's like, you just need a tax guy in each country.
Yeah.
To help you. And I was like, okay, that's a little bit more.
We should talk to Kate. We should get her tax guy for Canada, and then we can do WFS Canada.
I've been through a couple, and the way that we've got it set up, I essentially just claim all my income in Canada. Like even if it's from the States, I just claim it all in Canada and pay Canadian taxes. But if you've got your American LLC set up, it's going to be different. But yeah, I've got a good tax guy I can hook you guys up with for sure.
We were like so interested, like really into it.
I opened my account. I got approved. Everything.
Nice.
Yeah, and then like the tax guy was like, "You need somebody," and we're like, "How do we find somebody?" And like somebody good,
So
and then we all just stopped.
I found an e-commerce specific accountant, and I actually found him through the Amazon partner network of suppliers or whatever. So I have been working with him, and it's been really good. So nice. Yeah, it's doable for sure. And I know, so Emily, I had introduced you to Tyler with Walmart, and part of his role, I don't know if he's changed roles now, but part of his role was expanding sellers internationally into other marketplaces. So there is a big push on for that for sure.
Yeah, they talked so much about that at the last Walmart event.
Yeah.
So, what'd you say?
How was the Walmart event? I saw that you went there.
It was amazing. Are you coming to San Diego? Are you doing this one this year?
I don't know yet. Okay. Worth it?
It was definitely worth it. It's free, which, from the Amazon world, nothing's free. Mm-hmm. And so you're kind of like, what should you expect on a free event? They offer so much value there, and you walk away like, not that we don't mind paying, but on Amazon we're paying so much, and you're like, okay, was that worth it? And on Walmart, I feel like they have a different appreciation for their culture, community, like that's really important to them. Agreed. And it shines through at the event.
That's fantastic, honestly.
What's your take on selling on Amazon versus Walmart? And not to put them like versus, because I don't think they're the same. Yeah. It's like apples and oranges situation. But like, what are your thoughts for people who maybe want to move their wholesale business to Walmart?
So I would say it doesn't have to be a full switch. I would just add it. So what I did is when I had my Amazon listings and had pallets of goods, I would just take a portion of that, like a couple of boxes, whatever, and put them on Walmart just to see what they did. And then there's all the pieces like messing around with PPC, advertising, and coupons and all of those things that I've kind of figured out on Amazon. And then I'm like, okay, how do we do this on Walmart? But I do agree that Walmart has more seller support. So it's not necessarily more hand-holding, but it's not as frustrating. It really isn't. And I feel like there's a lot of opportunities there. It's kind of like a blue ocean opportunity, make it what you can make it, especially in terms of one of the things that we focus on is kind of brand direct and working directly with brands to get them on Walmart, to enhance their listings, optimize them, all of these pieces. So there is a lot of opportunity for that on Walmart because they just aren't there yet, right? And it's a pain in the butt to optimize the listings, but there's so much opportunity. I would say if you haven't done either, pick one and go all in and figure that out, and then add the second one to your business and just try out the products that you're already selling and see how they go on the second marketplace.
And did any of the Amazon changes in the past year, placement fees, did that deter you or push you onto Walmart? Like, how did that play out in your business? Or are you just like, this is another day?
Uh, this is another day. Like I do find it really encouraging. Like when I saw your stories when you were at the Walmart event, you could sit down with somebody from Walmart and chat with them and be like, here's my issues, whatever it is. That is really appealing to me. We had somebody, we've got the Wholesale network and we've got a membership in there. And we had somebody in there who posted on their stories. They're like, I'm trying to get this electronics item updated. It's not working. It's causing me all kinds of problems on Walmart and I don't know how to use Walmart. And I literally connected them with the person from Walmart who I met at a conference and they fixed it like within a day. I'm like, that would never happen on Amazon.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that. And like the seller support. Yeah, that piece is huge. So yeah, Amazon, I'm like, hey, just keep plugging away. It's not going to be great, but that's okay. We also don't have all of the same updates in Canada as the States. So some of the things that make you guys a little harder, we don't see yet.
On Amazon?
Yeah, on Amazon.
Interesting. Okay.
So are you guys going through like this brand apocalypse where they're like deleting all these brands or no?
Yes.
Okay, you still are too. Okay.
We did, but not to the same extent. So like Nike got gated a little while ago and somebody in our membership had a whole bunch of like Nike socks and they're like, I just have to get rid of them. I'm gated. And I was like, well, ship them to Canada. I'll sell them here because I'm not gated in Canada. And so they shipped them up to Canada and I got to sell them. So there's arbitrage like that, which are kind of cool. But then you never know if like 2 days later they're going to gate Canada for Nike, right?
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Nice. What are you most excited about moving forward, looking like through the next half of the year? Like, what are you in your business? What are you excited to focus on?
I would say something that I've been looking into lately is AI. So using AI, if it's Chat GPT or it's Claude or Claude or whatever it is, and building out, you can use it for all kinds of things. You can use it for your processes, your SOPs. You can use it for like content, making content and writing copy for that. There's just so much there that like I've only scratched the surface and I want to delve deeper into it. It feels like it's unlimited possibilities to like enhance your business. Or I like the idea as well of like the ecosystem of e-commerce. So not necessarily just selling or just doing conferences, but there's also all of these opportunities to like, if it's partnering with brands to help them with their e-commerce and build their e-commerce, if it's looking at other businesses and incorporating AI to help them optimize what they're doing in their business or help them increase sales online, like whatever it is, there's so much there. There's the SaaS programs that people are making different softwares to help. There's just so much, but I would say AI for sure is what I want to focus on and like see how I can incorporate that and just make things more efficient. Because I love working, but I don't want to spend all my time working. Like I want to make it as efficient as possible. And then I want to be able to like screw off for 2 weeks and go travel wherever with my family, you know?
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I think sometimes we get caught in like the nitty gritty of one thing and we forget like, is this working for me? Is this valuable anymore? And I don't know. I think that could be a difference between men and women. It's probably more personality, but I find that in my experience, men are like more emotionally connected to the money and the business. Mm-hmm. And I have like a different perspective. I'm like, where's the money? Oh, it moved. I'm moving too. Yeah. You know, like it's not as like a marriage connection. And again, that's probably personality. So I love that you are evolving and seeing that and changing. Is that your take too? Do you guys think that's the same?
Yeah. I think you have to be able to pivot for sure. It's just hard to know like what's going to be successful, but you never really know. So you just try it and pivot and try something else.
Yeah.
Being an entrepreneur, right? You're solving problems, you're pivoting. It's like on Friends when they move the couch and it's like pivot.
Yeah.
Up the stairs. I'm like every day I'm like pivot. Like
yes.
Right.
Never ending pivot.
Never stand still. I'm like, don't stand still. Like just keep moving. You know, we get hit with like bad news, something you get gated. And it's the worst. I think the worst thing you can do for your business is stand still and like let it affect you and take root. You like just have to keep fresh, moving, new ideas. There's more opportunity. What is like a piece of advice to end this conversation? What's a piece of advice you would give other working moms in this space who are struggling, not sure what to do next? Just they want to get started like you were at the beginning. What would you say to them?
So I would say it doesn't have to be a huge investment. Like I'm thinking with wholesale, I thought I had to have $10,000 or $20,000 to start in wholesale. I didn't. I $700 when I got started. That was it. And it was like I bought half a pallet, $700, got started and figured it out. And I was willing to risk that much. I would say try not to let like the money piece hold you back. There's tons of good information on YouTube and on the internet and podcasts like this and for free. And people are also willing to help. Like put yourself out on social media and send me a message. If you're like, I want to know how to do this or that or whatever, send me a message. And like, I'm totally willing to have that conversation and help you out and help kind of guide what might be a good fit. Is it selling on Walmart? Is it Amazon? Is it the Amazon influencer program? Like I made $6,000 off of that this year. It was like, there's so many different ways to make money and you don't have to put out thousands and thousands of dollars for courses. So get started, start small, keep it within your risk tolerance and reach out to people because the community really is like, it's such a good community. The guys, the girls, everybody, like they're all really willing to help each other. It's not a scarcity mentality. It's an abundance mentality. And like I want moms to be able to have money to go on vacation with their kids or take some time off or go back to work 80% instead of 100% so that they can have the work-life balance that they want and that they need. And honestly, you deserve it. So let's figure out how to make a bit of extra money to help you create the life that you want. That really is it.
I love that. Thank you so much for being here. This was so good. I love this take. I love you. You're so awesome.
I love you guys too. Thank you.
Do that to me finally in person. And we've talked so much online that, and Morgan and I haven't met in person either.
Oh, I love internet friends. This is the best.
So it's like you meet in person and you're like, oh my God, it's happening. Like, wow.
You already know the person. You're like, oh, this is my friend Emily. And yeah.
So thank you for being here. We will post all of Kate's links, social media below. Go follow her, connect with her, ask her questions. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching, liking, sharing this podcast with your friends. Bye.
Bye, guys.